Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Tanishka, a 5th year MBBS student in Russia. Today I'm sharing a story I've never really talked about before. My journey from failing NEET in India to studying MBBS here in Russia. And as you can see in the background, I am in my new home. I spent years dreaming wearing a white coat in India, but instead I ended up on a flight to Russia. If you are a NEET aspirant, struggling with backlogs, coaching center pressure, or wondering if you should take another job, stop scrolling. This is the honest truth of my two NEET attempts, why I blamed my coaching institute, that is Ellen, and the terrifying moment I landed in a foreign country completely cut off from my family because you'll know. So my journey started in 2021. I was enrolled in Ellen, and if you've been there, you know the drill. The massive modules, ultra complex concepts, and high level theories. They focused so much on the advanced stuff that we completely skipped the basics during our preparation. The cycle was brutal, and I got stuck trying to complete the biology module, and by the time of the weekly exam, I hadn't even touched physics or chemistry, and I would try to cram whatever I could the night before, but the backlog grew like a mountain, and this kept happening every single exam. During our batch, it was the first batch to give exam in COVID. So during the online classes time, I discovered Dr. Anand Manisar's video on YouTube. He is a biology mentor. If you don't know him, he's literally one of the best teachers ever, and he advised us to learn the basic topics. He would always repeatedly tell us to learn the basics from the NEET, from the NCRT book for your NEET exam. But by the time I found him, it was too late. I walked into the exam, and honestly, that's what it was from the NCRT. The paper was pretty easy that year. It came straight from the NCRT. In the first attempt, I really regretted not concentrating on the NCRT and not going through the easier concepts. I blamed my coaching class for a long time, but looking back, I should have researched a bit more on my own. In my second attempt didn't go that well. The paper was not as easy as the year before. When the results came out, I didn't get some crazy amazing marks. There was absolutely no way I was getting a government seat, especially being from general category. I was already prepared for a third exam because at the end of the day, I didn't want to be anything but a doctor, no matter what. And I didn't want to do Ayurveda or dental, none of them. I even took a subscription to start preparing again. I took the online physics wala subscription. But then my mom looked at me and said, no, don't waste any more years. Russia is a good option. Very honestly, I think she knew that physics and chemistry were pretty much out of my reach right then. When you study the exact same syllabus for so many years under intense stress, your brain just can't handle that kind of information anymore. And that's when we started looking at options abroad. We didn't only think about Russia, we also did see a few things about Ukraine, and everywhere. I can make a video on why I chose Russia. This video is not for that. My dad was actually not ready for me to leave the country when I was so young. I was just 18. We had always talked about me going to another country for higher studies, but not right now for my UG degree. He was pretty much against it, but my mom and I managed to somehow convince him, and he finally agreed. But finding a college in Russia is scary. I had friends from Ellen who were already studying in Russia, but one of them was not a big fan of his own college and didn't recommend it. Instead, he gave me phone numbers of different students from different universities all over Russia. I honestly talked to a lot of people during those days, and there were always some kind of problem, either with the hostel or with the management or the language. I heard there were some colleges that promised English for all 6 years, but for the last 3 years, the main medical subjects were actually taught in Russian. I definitely didn't want that. And I also heard scary stories about colleges where teachers wouldn't pass you without receiving some kind of bribe. So that was pretty scary to listen to all those things. Then I found a college where a distant relative's son had studied and graduated that same year. We talked to him, and because he was a relative, I knew he wouldn't lie to me. as he had nothing to benefit from me joining. He assures me the teachers were super nice, super kind, and really, really helpful, and that the entire 6 year course was taught completely in English. So I decided the college I wanted to go to and then found the consultant, not the other way around. Mostly people go to a consultancy and then they'll show you a bunch of colleges and they choose from them, and or the consultancy tells you that this college is the best and they do that. I would say do your own research before you do it. Then we met up with my consultant, paid all the fees for the document translation, submitted everything, and got my admission letter. Within just 15 days of planning, I was on the flight to Russia. And in those 15 days, day one was of my mom telling me to start looking for colleges abroad. A lot of people in India think that choosing MBBS abroad means you're a failure. But let me tell you something, it doesn't mean you failed. It means you are brave. Think about it, you're just 17 or 18-year-old making a massive decision to move thousands of miles away from your home. You are leaving your comfort zone for a country with an incredibly harsh winter climate and a completely new language, just to fulfill your dream of becoming a doctor. And let's be real, it is really, really, really hard. You are staying so far away from your family, you end up missing all the important events at home every time a major festival comes around. While your family is celebrating together back in India, you are sitting in a cold room thousands of miles away, staring at your books. And no matter how many years passes, the feeling remains the same. Okay, I am in 5th year and it's still the same for me. It takes a huge emotional toll. But you do it. You do it either ways because you are passionate, because you absolutely know you can get through it. If your exam didn't go well or you didn't score enough in your NEET exam and you might not be able to get an Indian government seat, this is definitely a good option. I'm in my 5th year now, almost completing my 5th year actually, and I do not regret the decision I made. Of course, there were times when I felt like giving up, times when I wanted to go back and thought maybe doing dental or Ayurveda, as my dad was telling me to, would have been better or easier. I thought that so many times, especially the first week I came here. It was so hard for me to stay away from home. But I know for a fact that I would never be happy doing anything other than this. Well, my first month in Russia was absolutely crazy. It was my first time away from home and I did not even have my mobile phone. I was a completely phoneless. I had no way to contact my family, no way to call for help, no way to navigate this brand new world. I was in a new country where I did not know the language either. I will see you guys in the next video with the story of what actually happened, why and how I became phoneless, and how I managed to pull through it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss part 2. Maybe next Sunday. See you then. Bye.